Hey guys, Lucas Sacco here with a Rescue Ace combo tutorial for the post Phantom Nightmare format. I'm not going to waste your time, let's just get into it. First combo here is just Bonfire. We're going to go activate Bonfire's effect. It's going to add Populous to hand, trigger the Populous effect to special summon, and then trigger the Populous effect to add. So the cool thing with Bonfire is it's basically the same thing as a Dia Bellstar combo, except you end up with one more random body. So I'm just going to show you guys how you use those bodies correctly. We're going to link one, use the Populous effect to go to the spell and trap zone, and then we can use original to send the Populous. Summoning out our Hydrant. Now that we have Hydrant, we can Hydrant effect to search for Airlifter, normal summon Airlifter, use the effect add, and normally here you have to go for emergency because you don't have the ability to keep making guys and climbing up and still end with a good board, but in this combo we can. So we go add alert, activate alert effect. It's going to add Turbulence to hand, and then to play around Nib we can link 2 into Little Knight. I apologize, let's play around Nib. To play around Imperm we can link into Little Knight, activate the effect of Turbulence to special summon, banishing the alert and the Airlifter from the graveyard, summoning out Turbulence, and then trigger the Turbulence effect to set 4 from the deck. We're going to set Emergency, Rescue in both the traps, and after those get set, we're going to link away the Little Knight and the Turbulence into Promethean. Another new card used here, and this card does come up a lot for Rescue Ace and improve the ceiling, and I'll show you that later. We're going to activate the effect of Promethean to special summon from the graveyard, and it doesn't matter what we summon here. It's just going to be linked away anyways, but we're going to link these two away to summon out our Sunlight Wolf. Now, since we still have this Hydra on the field, we can go ahead and activate Emergency. Use Emergency to go ahead and special summon Preventer, tribute the Preventer, and then we can go Chain Link 1 Preventer to summon from Banish, Chain Link 2 Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf is going to add back the Preventer for follow-up, and we're going to special summon the Banished Airlifter. We're going to link 1. Well, I apologize, we're going to activate the effect of Link Karibo in the graveyard, that's where he is. Tribute him to special summon out. We're going to link 3 into Sunlight Wolf, Heatsoul, pay 1,000 life, go ahead and get a draw, and that's going to add a non-engine card to our hand. We're going to put Cosmic in our hand for the example, and then you can take these guys off into an Appaloosa or any other links. There are a couple different ones you can make. Raging Phoenix is also a good example, and if you do still want to, you can just leave these on the field to continue to get Heatsoul draws. But that's it for the first combo. For the next combo, the next one's with Dia Bellstar. Just shows you how to use those body more correctly now, since we have Promethean to get value off of for more extenders. So with one Dia Bellstar, we go special summon Dia Bellstar, send a random card in our hand from hand to grave. Dia Bellstar places the original. Then we go original effect, sending off the Dark Witch, summoning Hydrant. We trigger the Hydrant effect to add Airlifter to hand. Normal summon Airlifter. Activate Airlifter's effect. It's going to add alert again. If I can find it. After we add alert, we're going to go ahead and activate it while we still have Hydrant on the field to add Turbulence to hand. And then we're going to link these two off into Little Knight. Special summon out the Turbulence by banishing the Airlifter and the alert. This is important because we want to make sure we still have the bodies that we need here, including the Hydrant and graveyard. We're going to Turbulence effect here. Keep in mind, because we have Little Knight and Turbulence, we can't get Impermed here, which is very important. We're going to set Contain, Extinguish, Emergency, and Rescue. Kind of just the best ones to set. And if you already go through Alert, then they really are the only ones to set. Now we're going to link away into Promethean, and then use Promethean's effect to summon back the Hydrant. And this is why it's important to keep Hydrant in graveyard, is because now we can use one of these traps as an extender. So we can go ahead and activate Emergency to summon out Preventer and tribute the Preventer, which is going to get the Preventer's effect to special summon our Banished Airlifter. And boom, just like that, we can link up into an Amblo Whale. And now we have Hydrant, Amblo Whale, 2 traps, and Rescue. We have the ability to rescue Preventer, rescue our opponent's card, doesn't really matter. We have the Promethean, pop Amblo Whale, pop their guy. Really important as well, if you do get to a point where you can go Promethean pop this, we can't actually trigger the Amblo Whale to summon Little Knight because we are locked into fires. However, if our opponent outs our Amblo Whale to try to play around Promethean, we summon back Little Knight, which is important. But also, if we use Extinguish, say on our opponent's Hida, for example, if they have a Hida and we extinguish it, then we can actually trigger the effect of Ambler Will when their Link 2 is destroyed to go ahead and destroy a card on the field non-targeting. If a Link 3 or more monster on the field, not just your field, is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard, destroy one card on the field. So boom, nice little interaction there to get more removal. With this combo, I'm going to show you how you can make a very strong board against Fire King when you're going first. And this is just with one Bonfire, but we're going to go Bonfire, add Populous to hand. Activate the effect of Populous to special summon out. You can get the Populous effect to add Original. Now we're going to link 1 with that Link Karibo again, trigger the effect of Populous in the graveyard to go ahead and go to the Spell Trap Zone. Original, send the Populous to summon our Hydrant from deck. Hydrant effect to add. It's going to get us Airlifter. Then we're going to normal summon Airlifter and use its effect to add. It's going to get us Alert. Now with that, we go Alert. Alert's going to go ahead and put the Turbulence in our hand. And then we're going to link the Hydrant and the Link Karibo off into Proxy F Magician. Trigger the Turbulence to special, banishing the Alert and the Hydrant. And then we can trigger the Turbulence to go ahead and set 4. A really important thing here, if you get Imperm on the Turbulence, you may think it's really sad, but it's still not the worst thing ever because we're still going to make a Dweller on our opponent. But for the sake of the combo, let's go ahead and pretend that our card resolved. We're going to set a bunch of cards from deck. Then on the resolution, after all 4 cards are set from deck, activate Proxy F Magician, fuse with itself and the Turbulence to summon a Mud Dragon, and then overlay both of your guys to make Dweller. And boom. You have a really strong inboard into the Fire King matchup. Floodgate that was accessible from your extra deck, as well as having both traps, Rescue and Emergency. So you can go Emergency, Summon Preventer, Tribute Preventer, use that effect to special summon out the Hydrant, and this is obviously on your opponent's turn. And then you have Rescue to either steal cards from their graveyard or Rescue to revive the Preventer that you would have summoned and destroyed off of the Emergency here to go ahead and get a Book of Moon and protect the Hydrant while it's on field. Last thing I wanted to show you guys is how this deck can play through hand traps a little better now that it has Promethean. So probably the biggest boost that Rescue Ace got with the release of Promethean is just how well this certain interaction here improves through hand traps. Because before, if you were just able to hobble onto Little Knight and Turbulence, if they had Imperm, they could still just Imperm your Turbulence on summon if your opponent attempts to be smart. They just go on summon, they shoot an Imperm at your Turbulence. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, technically they didn't negate the effect when you activated, so if you put another Turbulence on the field, you were all good. But what happens if you don't have that extender? Well, Promethean solves that. We're just gonna link 3 into Promethean, effect revive the Turbulence, and we're all good. From there, we can trigger the Turbulence effect because it's not negated off of the Promethean, it's just set 4 there. And obviously, if they would have impermed the Turbulence on the effect earlier, we would have just chained Little Knight to banish it, and then we resolved the set 4. So either way, we just get a more secure line to go ahead and set 4. Not to mention, you will get to do the same thing we were doing earlier with the Ambler Will to link it away. And we can Promethean pop it and get interactions that way as well. This is the deck list I have been testing. It's a little bit different than what you've seen probably a couple other people do. It heavily focuses on consistency. Let me see, you're having upwards of 13 one-card starters. Not to mention it has a bunch of 2-card combos. It puts the consistency for the deck somewhere around 93 to 94%. And then obviously I like to give a little bit of room for error for things that are playable but not fantastic. And then looking here at the non-engine, playing DDG with Thrust and Talents. You guys have probably seen this from Triff and I's money matches, which I will go over on the channel soon. But this really helps you, especially in decks that can play minimal non-engine like this. And punishing your opponent for hand trapping you, because no decks in the format besides Kashtira can really play through different Dimension Ground very well. Pearly has not the worst time playing through it for sure, but mainly it's Kashtira that has a bad matchup with, or a good matchup into DDG. But all the other decks, once you go pull up my tier list video, all the other decks in that tier 1, tier 0, tier half, tier 2, all of them in that section there, crippled by DDG. It really does hurt there. But this is the deck list that I've been testing with. It's been testing pretty good. Not sure if it's as good as Fire King, but it definitely has some plus sides. and the fact that it can make Dweller when you go first, has the ability to play Inscription if you want as well. This is an interesting card that I've seen a lot of people playing. And it has different interactions based on the scenario your opponent has set up for you, but you can either call the effect that neither player can activate card effects in the graveyard, which only hinders you a little bit, because it says you can't activate Wanted, Original, Preventer, Populous. But that's pretty much it. Everything else is good to go. But the other effect that people have been trying is that neither player can special summon from the graveyard. And when you do that effect, that only hinders you from activating Promethean, Dark, Hida, Rescue, things like that. But it also turns off their Garunix, their Kirin, their Promethean, a bunch of different disruptions for them. You can easily kill them through that. But this is the deck list I've been testing with. I appreciate you guys watching today, and you guys have a great day.